All right, folks, got Miami assistant coach and defensive coordinator Kotie Kimble here. If you have questions for Coach Kimble, please use the hand raise function and wait to be called on. We will start off with Zuby Charles from Kane Sport. Zuby.
Hey, Coach. So we're talking to Nigel, after this, and just want to get your thoughts on, his performance this season and, where he shined on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, great, Zuby. Thanks for having me on. Nigel's been really good for us this year. One, he's just an infectious personality. I think he's a kid that's really great in our locker room. Guys follow him. He's proven to lead in certain areas. Offensively, I think something's very different from him. He's had more responsibility as a point guard, with us, at the University of Miami, where at Kansas State, he was more off the ball. So he's learning and he's growing in those areas, but he's been really good for us there. He's a positive assist to turnover ratio. The thing that's probably been impacted the most, I think, is probably his shooting. He hasn't shot the ball of yet as well as he did last year in games, but he works extremely hard off the court. He's shooting the ball really well in practice. And it's only a matter of time before that translates because he's really an elite shooter.
Go to Wyatt Koopman from WVUM. Wyatt.
Good afternoon, Coach. Thanks for coming on. Coach L was actually just talking about how different Boston College is from Miami in terms of the robust strength of their front line on the rebounding side. What makes their attack so challenging in that facet, and what stood out to you about them on the film as you guys have had a week off to prepare?
Well, Wyatt, you're right. I think this is a contrast in styles. Boston College plays a much slower tempo. What really stands out, watching them on film is the physicality of the game. We're going to see a very physical basketball team in here tomorrow. They're terrific on the glass. In ACC play, they're first in the conference at offensive rebounding. They basically get back 33% of the shots that they miss. So every third shot they miss, they get it back. So for us, it's going to be our challenge. And we've struggled in this area, at times this season. It's just keeping them off the glass. Make sure that it's one and done, that we're able to get the rebound, get stops and rebound and run, because we want to, push the pace of this game. We want to increase the tempo of this game where they're a little more grinded out and play in the half court.
Go to Michelle Coffin from the Miami Herald. Michelle.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Coach, I was just talking about playing just 2 games in 21 days. That's kind of a struggle to get the guys sharp and, mentally and physically. Can you just talk about that as well, touch on that? And, also how important will the crowd be when the team might be lacking a little bit of energy after playing so little in the last few weeks?
Yeah, sure. I mean, 2 games, at this time of year in 21 days it's not easy for our guys, especially, we haven't been in classes, so we've just had, just basketball and being around each other, which has been great, but, our guys love playing and they love the energy from the crowd and that provides. So, our practices have been good. We've practiced really well. We've had great practices since Georgia Tech. So our guys will be ready and excited. And they're chomping at the bit just to play against someone else, going up against each other as much, especially this time of year when we've really been going at this thing since, the summer can grow, tiresome at times. So just, having another opponent and playing games. And when we play 4 ACC games in December, I mean, we might have been the only ACC team to do that. So, we jumped out quick and the schedule and then slowed down a little bit. But we got a lot. We got a lot of games coming up. I think it's 3 games in 6 days, and then we go on the road for 3 straight. So, the Wasco's been great. Canes fans have been simply amazing. We're undefeated at home for a reason. It's just like having a 6th man. Their energy, our guys, they feed off that, and we need a great crowd in here tomorrow night because we're playing a really good team, and that helps our guys tremendously.
Go to Adam Lichtenstein from the Sun Sentinel. Adam.
Hi, Coach. You kind of touched on this a few minutes ago, but about Nigel, how have you seen him kind of adjust to the point guard role, specifically on the defensive side?
Well, It's been an adjustment, and I'll say this is an adjustment that I think he's handling really, really well. His growth has been tremendous from the start of the season to now, and it's an adjustment from a lot of different ways. One, as I mentioned earlier, like he's handling the ball, the ball in his hands a lot more here at Miami than it was at Kansas State. Defensively, Coach L asked of his point guards in a lot of cases to pick up the ball handler full court and guard him the length of the floor, which can be tiresome at times. But, Nigel has both grown, defensively. He's gotten better at guarding, a team's primary ball handler, which is probably a little different for him. But he's such a smart defender, and he was coached really, really well at Kansas State. And it's evident here, his habits and, his attention to detail on the end of the floor and his IQ has really helped him to help us on that end of the floor.
Go to Chris Damon from the Miami Hurricane.
Hey, Coach. I just wanted to ask you about what you've seen from Boston College defensively. In the ACC, they've allowed the 5th fewest points, and, they're big. They got a 7-footer. So how do you plan to attack them? It seems like points in the paint might be hard to come by.
Yeah, that's a key, really key to this game. Is you mentioned points in the paint. Defensively, they're physical. Every cut that we make, we're going to get hit. Every shot at the rim, we're going to get hit. We're going to get pushed off the block. Coming off ball screens, they're going to be contact. So we're going to have to match their physicality or even exceed their physicality, and don't really expect foul calls. Play our game, and hopefully, things will take care of itself. But points in the paint is a huge battle in this game. You mentioned that Boston College scores 61% of their scoring is from 2, which is 8th in the country. So we're going to have to limit those points in the paint. This game is going to be played in the paint. Not a great 3-point shooting team. We're going to have to limit their scoring in the paint, and we're going to have to score in the paint, and we're going to have to score in transition. And part of their allowing such few points, part of that is tempo. They slow you down. They want minimal possessions. They want a lower possession game, where we want to play an up-tempo game, and we want to get out and run. So we're going to have to force tempo, maybe by turning them over, on the defensive end and creating tempo that way and try to speed them up.
Go to Marcus Benjamin from Keynes County. Marcus.
Coach, you usually see a kind of a ramp up in effort after a loss. In practice, have you kind of seen that from your guys to really kind of right their wrongs from that Georgia Tech loss? And then also wanted to ask about Norchad Omier and his significance for him to be on the floor. He got into some foul trouble in that last game, and what is he doing, or you coaching up for him to kind of stay on the floor for you guys?
Well, we shot the ball, at such a poor level versus Georgia Tech. I think it was 5 for 32 from 3. Our guys, I felt like they played extremely hard. The ball just did not go in for us, especially down the stretch and over the course of a game. We challenge our guys to be good every day in practice. We're not going to be reactive, based off of, one performance, but, consistency, we challenge our guys. Let consistency be your identity. So, our goal as coaches is for them to be the same and come with the same approach every day, not based off of result, but we should be consistent. Norchad Omier, he's such an important piece for us on the floor from an offensive standpoint, but more importantly, probably from a defensive standpoint. I mean, he challenges shots at the rim. He's so physical. He's our best rebounder. So we've really coached Norchad, brought him in the office, watched film. We've watched his fouls with him. And Norchad has to do a better job of just not picking up the fouls that he can control, like 1 or 2 every game he does, where he's just miss a shot, he's going after it, or a loose ball that maybe let that go and don't reach. But trying to watch his fouls with them on film and trying to help him just eliminate the dumb, the not smart fouls. If he can eliminate those 1 or 2, he can be on the floor for us a lot longer. And we need him on the floor because he's that impactful to the success of our team.
All right, folks, it's all we have time for Coach Kimble. Coach, thank you very much for your time. We'll have Nigel pack in shortly.
Thanks for having me, guys.